Because in studio, we have two great fighters. The man, it seems, nobody can beat, Oleksandr Usyk, is with us in studio. And the man who tried and failed, but was going to try again on at Wembley Stadium on July the 19th, Daniel Dubois, is in studio as well. The two boys have come hot foot to London Bridge, to the studio here from Wembley Stadium. And the two were on the pitch and they faced off. And it got slightly heated. Oleksandr is saying this was nothing. There is Daniel wearing a very nice powder blue suit. Team Ukrainian tracksuit, a bit of shoving, but it came to nothing. Daniel, good afternoon.
Yeah.
What was that about? You're just letting Oleksandr know that you're there.
It is a bit of that, but at the end of the day, it's a fight, so any time we're in each other's faces, it could kick off. But I'm happy that I've got this opportunity and I'm ready to fight.
Let's hope it doesn't kick off this lunchtime. We're in the small studio with two of our friends, two good security lads, and a member from Oleksandr's team.
You know, it's funny. This is Daniel Dubois and Oleksandr Usyk. You know, they're side by side right now. They're actually closer than they were in the football field at Wembley. And shout out to Talk Sports, because, you know, they were like, hey, you know what? You know, what was that about? You guys are actually closer than you are now. Let's hope it don't kick off. And when they asked Daniel what was that about, like, you know, Usyk was watching him. You know, he was just watching, like, his reaction, his demeanor. Like, you know, what was that about? Because I would like to know, dude. You know, you almost got backhand, you know, by my backhand, because you decided to do something that was, you know, kind of unexpected. You know, and in a lot of things, people do off of reflex. You know, reflex. Not flex, but reflex. And that was exactly what Usyk was on. You know, he was showing him like, bro, you're not going to shove me and shove me back or not. Nah. It wasn't that big of a shove anyway, to be fair. But, you know, Usyk's response to that was quick. That's the reflex mechanism. Okay, so let's check out this interview. Here we go.
Oleksandr's team. You must respect Oleksandr, I'm sure, for what he's achieved so far.
Definitely, you know, as a fighter, you see them and you see what they've done, and then, you know, when you get the opportunity, I want to win. I want to beat him as well. He's been up there a while, and he's had his day. So now is my time. I'm really confident and ready to fight.
Do you still try to tell us that 2 years ago in Poland, you beat Oleksandr Usyk?
It was about that, you know. It was, in my opinion, that was a proper body shot. I mean, you know, I could go over it, but it was a body shot that landed, and now I have a chance to clear up the controversy, you know, just right to say it clean. You know, I've come back. You guys have seen I've come back a new man, a different man, a new fighter, and I'm just excited to show that I'm on the rise.
Oleksandr, do you still insist it was a low blow? You had 4 minutes to recover.
Listen, first fight, it was in the past. Now, I live in now, present. I show you one picture. If maybe it's not clean punch. Just a moment, please.
Oleksandr is looking for a picture in his phone. Simon Jordan is looking over Oleksandr Usyk's shoulder, looking for that same picture.
How do you think?
Well, you're going to tell us that this was not a low blow.
That was the same punch.
All right, that's a punch, isn't it?
Yeah, that wasn't the same punch.
It's one punch. One off. This.
Show it to Simon. Is it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah.
But as you say, Oleksandr, you live in the present, not the past. Do you think this version of Daniel Dubois presents a much bigger challenge than the version that you fought 2.5 years ago?
Valeria, it's just translating.
Listen, Daniel, it's a hard fighter.
Yeah.
Daniel win Horgovich, Miller, and Joshua. It's a great. Now, maybe Daniel better, but me better.
Are you too good for him? Are you the better fighter, Oleksandr? Do you still feel you will be too good at Wembley on July the 19th for Dubois?
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, people, okay. At first, I'm thinking like, okay, well, whoa, wait a minute. You know, are you too good for him? That's a bad way to ask a question. If you guys understand, that's a bad way to ask a question. You know, because for one, you think you're too good for him. That doesn't mean you think you're better than him that way. I mean, you know, when you think you're too good for him. Maybe Usyk already knew what it meant, but, you know, over here in the States, you know, we can take anything and look at a way people say certain things. You're like, you know, hey, you just asked me, you think I'm fucking better than people, you know? So, you know what I mean? No, in terms of class or, you know, no, but, you know what I mean? But obviously, Usyk already understood what he meant. Yeah, I am. Oh man, that was hilarious. That was hilarious. Let's wait for the counter.
Yeah.
Why are you so confident?
Listen, I believe that I win. I feel I can win.
Where's the change come in you, Daniel? I mean, I remember watching you fight Joe Joyce and all the furore that came after that and all the headlines about you coming through.
Yeah.
You were going to take over the division. You had a couple of periods of years where you were rebuilding. Where's the switch changed from losing to him in whichever way you lost to where you are now?
I don't know. I guess you could say I've
Do you believe more in yourself?
been through ups and downs,
Yeah.
and that's a big difference. I just really
Don
tried
Giles,
to turn it
big
on.
difference to you?
Yeah, yes, he definitely has. My dad, Don, and the other people that's revolved around the camp that brought new life to the camp have definitely helped and sharpened me up. So you're gonna see a new me.
What did you take from the first fight against Oleksandr? What did you take away? I mean, you took away a loss, and,
Yeah.
and I think that Oleksandr, I don't think it was a low blow, but I did think he beat you in the end, but and beat you convincingly, Daniel. But what did you take away from that fight?
It wasn't just a fight. It was a lot more than just a fight. It was a lot more. But I've rebuilt from it. I was in a dark place and I came out of it, and that's the main thing. I come out of it, and I can't wait for this one. It's going to be a bloodbath, and I'm really looking.
How'd you feel? This time you're going to go to Wembley.
Yeah.
And you're going to fight in 90,000 fans. Last time you went there, everyone was ready to put the crown on top of Anthony Joshua, and
Yeah.
you upset that.
Yeah.
You're going in front of 90,000 fans now that will be potentially cheering you on. How do you feel about going to that environment with all the support potentially on your side?
It doesn't matter if they're cheering him on or it
Doesn't bother you?
Don't matter. I love the sport and fighting to win.
Have you ever fought in an atmosphere, Oleksandr? You fought at Tottenham Hotspur with Anthony Joshua, 60,000 people. You will have seen on the weekend possibly Ben versus Eubank, 60,000 people. This is 90,000 British fans that are going to be potentially supporting him. Does that environment concern you?
For me, it doesn't matter. Listen, I go to all place when leave my opponent. For me, it's a great because I.
Did you know that you can make between 5 and 25% on your money per month passively without predicting?
It's a great because I do have a lot of followers like here in the stadium. Listen, 100,000 people go to watch and fight me and Daniel. If this stadium support Daniel, no problem because it's in London.
Yeah.
Just for me, it's a great.
Yeah.
Listen, my focus it's a ring. It's not my followers, not people. Blah 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 blah. And my team and me. Because when I listen voice to the first round, my focus like okay, go.
Yeah. Oleksandr, do you think a lot of people have said Daniel and you?
Okay, let me pause right there. Daniel mentioned Bloodbath, you know, and the thing about that, I mean, those are some very, very dramatic words. You know what I mean? Those words are very intense words. You know, and the crazy thing about that is, you know, you're dealing with boxing. You're dealing with a boxer, more importantly. You're not dealing with Derek Chisora and even Anthony Joshua, somebody that you can hit as easy, you know? You're dealing with a boxer that's aggressive, that can press the gas, that can pressure you as well, that has some, you know, punching power as well, but he's known as a slick boxer with a high ring IQ. Saying things or saying all that to say this, oh, it's going to be a bloodbath. The problem I have with that with Daniel is we've heard him say the same type of shit before. Okay? We've heard him say that before. And what did we receive? You know, we received a kind of timid guy at times, was unsure at times. You know, the knockdown, the punch to the belt line or south of the belt line will always be debatable by a lot of different people. So that's that. But other than that, he quit. You know, he just did not. It was like he didn't want to be there no more. He quit. You know, but before the first fight, he was saying, man, I mean, you know, I'll do whatever I have to. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to throw everything I got at him. I got to do something different. I got to go in there and give everything I got. Those type of things that he was saying. And it made no difference in that fight. Him saying, man, it's going to be a bloodbath in there. It's like, okay, that what you said the first fight, now the rematch, it's all in the same ballpark. You know, I know Daniel is not like a man of a lot of words and stuff like that. But I didn't like him, you know, when asked, what's different about you, Daniel? What has changed? You couldn't tell us. I didn't really care for that. However, I will say this. Maybe he was told not to say how he's changed to help him in the fight. Let's just hope for the more positive outcome. But we have to put everything on the table. I didn't care for it because, you know, he wasn't talking sure like something has actually changed or taken place for the difference to make him better. You see what I mean? Because, I mean, hey, it's still out. So we will know in this fight. So this the one intriguing thing about this fight. We will know like how this fight will go and what he's learned. Will it actually be a bloodbath? You see what I mean? He's already started with the, you know, the bad guy persona, bravado, you know, calling Usyk, shoving him, calling him a pussy. You know, is that really Daniel? No, but that's the route that he's taken. That's what he wants to do. That's the outside game plan, right? The fight outside the ring, the mind game fight, the attempt. So we will see if it works for Daniel, you know, and let's continue.
Do you think a lot of people have said Daniel in your first fight doesn't have the heart? Do you think he has the heart to run you close, to get close with you?
It's a good fighter. It's a boxer. Listen, I respect all who boxing in gym because I know it's very hard. I respect all my opponent. Daniel too.
Including him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we're in for a treat, Daniel, don't you?
I think so too.
I think the way that you're looking at this, and you are focused, I can see it in you. You are focused. You know what you will have to do. But Daniel, you'll have to do something extraordinary
No one else has done.
that no one else has done
Yeah.
to beat Oleksandr. No one else can do it. Why can you do it? What can you promise us?
That I'm gonna, you know,
Steady. You know what I'm saying?
you know what I mean. I can say a million words about it, but I feel it. I'm ready. Everything that's happened to me over this from the last time we fought is a lot of pain, a lot of built-up anger and everything. So I want to just dish it out and, you know, make sure that I come away with all the belts and do it in London. That'll be special, you know, to be the first unified champion in London, England. So that's what I'm about, you know, creating history.
Oleksandr, we're going to go to a break in a second. We know what you have brought every time you fight. You are extraordinary. Extraordinary. What will you bring on the night of July the 19th? What Oleksandr Usyk will we see?
Як я виграю 19 числа? I bring light, I bring happy, I bring win.
You bring fight, you bring happy,
fight, yeah.
and you
Every
bring the win.
time, undisputed from Ukraine, Oleksandr the Cat. Usyk.
Love it.
On AM, on DA.
Okay, so decent segment. I mean, this is a segment of a much bigger interview. Interesting. Of course, there are going to be many more. I'm going to cover it all the way through. I'm going to cover it to the bone. This is the third video of today. So, you know, but no, very interesting. Daniel being Daniel, you know, not really a sociable guy, but I don't think that matters though. You know, I think, you know, as long as he can deliver, he'll be fine. He's always been a way better fighter than he is a talker. So it is what it is. Usyk, you know, he did surprise me in this interview with, I really think that I can beat him, you know. But I mean, he's supposed to think that because he's already done it. You know, I just wonder if Usyk has the won't underestimate him based on what he's already done to him. You know what I mean? Because when you punch someone with a jab and they go to the ground, what's the question to ask? What makes you think, or how will you be convinced what you've already done to a person that they've changed? You know what I mean? But I'll tell you, it was an interesting interview. You guys tell me what you think about this first sit down. The conference is on right now, which I'll be going live. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.